Happy Hump Day! Today is Wednesday, January 23rd, 2019. And our forecast for today, our temperatures are beginning to normalize for this time of year. So we've got a high today of 80 degrees and a low overnight of 74. We start out with partly cloudy skies in the morning, and that gives way to more cloud cover coming in during the afternoon hours. The wind continues to be a force, coming from the southeast at 15 to 25 miles an hour. Our humidity will be at 70% throughout the day, and even rising as we get into some overnight thunderstorms later on. Overnight, we have a 40% chance of rain and scattered thunderstorms developing. Humidity will rise to 82%, and winds will still be 15 to 25 miles an hour. Also, the next couple of days, we've just got quite a large chance of rain. So Thursday is definitely 80% chance of rain. Friday, 70% chance of rain. So there's just a lot of weather going on that you probably need to be aware of, especially if you're planning outdoor activities. If you're trying to plan going out to the reef or offshore, or even just going out and hanging out at the sandbar, not a great day to do that through the weekend, essentially. So let's talk about specifically what we're looking at for our weather for fishing. We do have falling atmospheric pressure today. It's going from 30.15 to 30. And we've got the UV index holding steady at 5, mainly due to cloud cover and that sort of thing. Now, our water temperature has dropped another couple of degrees with the cold snap we've had a couple of days this week, so it is down to 71 degrees. Our swells offshore continue to be affected by the king tides and the full moon that we had, as well as the heavy winds that we've had. So swells today are going to be definitely over 2 feet offshore. So we'll have another small craft advisory. So it's really not the day to be taking chances offshore. Now, if you're in a protected backcountry area where you've got lots of protection from the wind and not a ton of deep water, might be a completely different situation. So just know where you're going and know what your risks are. Our sunrise today is at 7:12 a.m. and sunset is at 7:06 p.m. We're creeping about a minute or so longer each day. If we look at our tide charts, the first low tide is at 5:18 a.m. and the next low tide is at 4:52 p.m. The first high tide is at 11:53 a.m. and the next high tide is at 11:38 p.m. We've got 10 hours and 54 minutes of sunshine or daylight today if we see mostly rain. And then our solar transit is happening at 12:39. We still have an extremely high tidal coefficient, averaging 100 today. And that's because at the lowest low tide, our tides will bottom out about a foot below sea level, and our highest high tides will be about 2 feet above sea level. So a 3-foot difference between the lowest low tide and highest high tide gives us that tidal coefficient of 100. In looking at the solunar charts today for our fishing activity, our major periods only have 2 fish activity, and those are from 2:38 a.m. to 4:38 a.m. and from 3:11 p.m. to 5:11 p.m. Minor periods give us 1 fish activity, 9:18 a.m. to 10:18 a.m. and 9:05 p.m. to 10:05 p.m. If we have to give today an overall ranking on the fish scale, it's going to be a 1 fish level day of activity. But like I say, the winds and the small craft advisory really make it where it's not the best day to go out fishing. If you're trying to get offshore and think, well, maybe things are going to be better in the Gulf Stream, unfortunately, not the case. Surface winds out in the Gulf Stream are going to be between 20 and 25 knots. And the wave height out there is going to be 2 to 3 feet. So no matter where you go, it's going to be risky today. So maybe it's a better day to stay in, clean your rods, do a little boat maintenance, whatever you need to do. Maybe even do some bridge fishing. You never know. But it's probably not the best day to get offshore for any type of fishing activity or any type of boating activities. No matter what, though, there's a lot to do in town. There's a lot of things going on, so you'll never suffer of boredom here in the Florida Keys, which is a wonderful thing, and that's why we live here. So find yourself a good indoor activity. There's plays, there's movies, there's theater. There's all kinds of things going on that you can participate in that won't have anything to do with outdoors. So No matter what and what you decide to do today is the perfect day to have the perfect day. This weather report is brought to you by 43 Keys Media. You can find out about what's going on in our beautiful Florida Keys by visiting 43keys.com. You can also get this program, as well as others, as an Alexa flash briefing. You can find us on YouTube, and you can find us anywhere you listen to podcasts. So wherever you're finding us, subscribe there so you don't miss an episode, and we'll see you over at 43keys.com.